I'd like to share with you today my thoughts on the advantages of using multimedia in the classroom. We're going to define what is multimedia, why we should use it both for teachers and students, some of the practical applications, and then some keys to success. So, what is multimedia? The last few days in a science workshop, our presenter made sure we examined the definition, like a geologist is the study of Earth. Well, multimedia, multi meaning several, media meaning ways of communication. So multimedia is several ways of communicating using video, images, text, animation, and interactivity. What are some types of multimedia? Most people are familiar with PowerPoints, Google Slides, Prezi, infographics, PechaKucha, doing screen capture videos using Snagit or Smart Notebook Recorder. Those of you who have smart boards, this is often an easy overlooked tool for creating screen capture videos. Animation videos using Powtoon or Go Animate, and then creating YouTube playlists with the educational video content that you want to use in your instruction or for students to reference later. So why should teachers and students want to use multimedia? Based on research, not just preferences. For teachers, it's a pedagogy that addresses Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences or multiple paths to learning, and it addresses our students' variety of learning styles. When teachers are creating lessons, using multimedia allows them to reach all their learners who learn in many different ways. It allows teachers to learn new technology skills. They may be familiar with PowerPoint, but stretching and trying Prezis or PechaKuchas or the videos. It allows them to collaborate with other educators or experts in the field so that the presentation they give has authenticity and more real-life connections. Matthew Godinez, in the Multimedia and Education YouTube video series, which we watched one of in our module this week, and there are 5 parts to his series, which I recommend you watch all of them. He shares that using multimedia activates the whole brain. One portion processes the audio and another portion processes the video or visual information. Matthew Godinez references the dual coding theory by Pavio that states recall and recognition is enhanced by presenting information in both visual and verbal form. Why should students use multimedia? It gives them the opportunity to present their learning of complex information in a meaningful way. They can use multimedia projects as part of a portfolio to demonstrate their learning. They can use it as a method of reflection to look back at a project and do a self-evaluation of it based on a rubric. They can also learn new technology skills and different methods of presenting information instead of just using the typical paper pencil, a research paper, or dioramas or things of that nature. It also leads to collaboration with their peers or resources outside of the 4 walls of the classroom. Some practical applications of multimedia that I have found as I work with teachers, many times I would create handouts, instructional handouts, step-by-step tutorials for them to use to learn new software, new products. When I have a visual only I tend to still get questions. How do I do this? Where do I go? By creating a video tutorial in addition to the physical handout, now you have auditory, visual combined, and I get a lot less questions because they have made those connections. And the same holds true for students. I'll make video tutorials on how to use a new piece of software. And then when we meet in the computer lab, we can really focus on content and researching and developing that content instead of just the how-tos or mechanics of a piece of software. The added benefit being students can go back and reference these videos when they return to their classrooms. One of the resources I came across in my research on using multimedia is called Multimedia in Education Curriculum by Bent Andreessen and Katja Vanderbrink, developed in 2013. It's designed as a whole course. One of the parts in there that I found beneficial was that it presented 4 different pedagogical scenarios for using multimedia in education. It provided definitions and possible uses, along with a chart with the advantage and disadvantages. I think teachers would find this practical and useful to help transition their use to using multimedia within their classrooms. Some keys to success when you're using multimedia is definitely to start with backwards design. Set yourself clear goals and objectives of what you want the learner to achieve. Create a storyboard so you have things mapped out of where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Create concise talking points and excellent images to match the goals and talking points. And most importantly, keep it short. Cognitive learning theory says we have to keep the amount of information short, presented concisely, and make connections to prior knowledge. So multimedia is a great tool to enhance our lessons and help learners achieve the objectives we have for them.